Hello everybody, this is Jack from the Auto Sens Alert, and we have a Sens Alert. Hello everybody, this is Jack from the Auto Sens Alert, and we have a big Sens Alert coming on. Happened a few hours ago, but better late than never. The Ottawa Senators have got a first-round pick forfeited in the Evgeny Dadonov trade, and most significantly, Pierre Dorion has been fired as the Ottawa Senators general manager after over 7 years on the job. So I was at a loss for words when I saw the first round pick was forfeited because one of the best reporters in the game, and Elliot Friedman himself said he would be shocked if a first rounder was the punishment for the Evgeny Dadonov trade. And before I get to that, I'll just give you a little bit of a summary. So basically, Ottawa traded him to Vegas in the summer of 2021. It was in July. He had a 10-team no trade list. Apparently, Vegas was under the understanding that there was no trade list because Pierre Dorion said there was no trade list. He didn't submit it in time. So Vegas had that understanding for the amount of time they had him. In February of 2022, near the trade deadline, they tried trading him to the Anaheim Ducks. However, he had that no trade list, and he did submit it in time. So basically, Pierre Dorion lied to the Vegas Golden Knights, and Vegas thought he had no trade list. So they traded him to the Ducks, and the Ducks were one of the teams on his 10-team no trade list. So Evgeny Dadonov said, I'm not going to Anaheim. Therefore, the trade didn't happen, and Vegas was confused because they thought there was no trade list. So basically, the Senators were sort of at fault for the failed trade between Vegas and Anaheim because Vegas did not think he had a trade list when he did. So that's basically what happened here. So the rumor was that the Senators were upset with the punishment. They thought it was too harsh. And the rumor was a first-round pick the entire time, so apparently it stood. However, it wasn't a pick in 2024. Ottawa must choose whether it'll be in 2024, 2025, or 2026 within 24 hours of the end of this year's draft lottery. So basically, Ottawa has a decision on which pick they want to give up. And if I'm going to be honest with you, if they're going to kick the can down the road, it's either going to be 25 or 26. I would be shocked if they do not give up I would be shocked if they give up the first rounder this year because they have two of them, and then you have guys like Tarasenko, who I would not expect to be back next year. Utilize one of those first rounders to trade for somebody, and then you still have one first rounder to use to draft because the system's starting to get a little bit dry. And you gave up the 2022 first for DeBrincat. Obviously, that trade didn't work out after he said he wasn't going to sign. And then you gave the 23 first rounder for the Chikrin deal, and that still looks nice. Those were deals under, now we can say, former Senators GM Pierre Dorion, who, it says he resigned after 8 seasons. Steve Staios was obviously named the interim GM. He's the president of hockey operations. But this is honestly a firing, in my opinion. Pierre Dorion was kind of forced to resign, or otherwise he definitely was going to get fired, because apparently he was at dinner with Michael Landauer, and it was last night when he was informed they were going to part ways. But Michael Landauer told him he couldn't think of a lesser penalty than your job. You're done. So I'll just read over this. Frank Siravelli on Daily Faceoff initially reported Ottawa was making a change and would announce the move in a press conference earlier today. It was at 3:15. Elliot Friedman followed it up and said they will be making a change. Pierre Dorion has been relieved from his duties. So obviously the news came after the first rounder got forfeited. So I'm just looking through here. So Dorion was with the team as the director of amateur scouting in 2007. He was previously with the Canadiens and the Rangers for the combined 13 years. He moved up to a director of player personnel, then an assistant GM under Brian Murray. So he inherited that team in 2016 when Brian Murray kind of stepped down and retired and became a senior advisor to Pierre Dorion. So I can't say I'm surprised Pierre Dorion got fired, but again, this was pretty significant because a first rounder is really hefty. However, I will say this though, there is a chance that the Senators could get their first rounder back. I'm not saying it is going to happen, but think of it like this. The Devils signed Ilya Kovalchuk, I would say, we're in 2023 now, so I think it was over 11, 12 years ago they signed Kovalchuk. And they circumvented the cap. and therefore their first rounder got forfeited in 2014 because that's when the investigation happened. However, they got their first round pick back because there was new ownership. However, the pick was last in the draft, which at the time was the 30th overall pick. So, am I saying this is going to happen for the Senators? No, but don't rule that out. So, this is my reaction to the first rounder getting forfeited and Pierre Dorian losing his job. And before I go, I just want to write in a couple notes. A couple GM candidates have leaked already. Obviously, the one that we've known for a little bit now is Peter Chiarelli, former Bruins and Oilers GM. He was an advisor to Michael Andlauer's bid. So there were rumors about him. And then one man that was kind of rumored a little bit, not as much as Peter Chiarelli over the last couple weeks, but assistant general manager and director of hockey operations for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Matthew Darche, who I've brought up in a video in the past. He was coveted by many teams. He was coveted by Vancouver when they fired Benning before they hired Patrick Allvin in 2022. He was interviewed for the Chicago Blackhawks job when Stan Bowman resigned after their sexual assault scandal in 2021. Obviously, that job went to Kyle Davidson. And most recently, with the Pittsburgh Penguins, he interviewed for the GM job after Ron Hextall got fired. Eventually, Kyle Dubas got the president of hockey operations job and just became the GM for the moment. So yeah, so let's see if Matthew Darche would be able to get the GM job. I would be completely on board with Matthew Darche. He would be my top candidate to be the general manager, in my opinion, just because he has the Stanley Cup experience as an assistant. He won back-to-back cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning as an executive. So you want to bring some kind of experience to the organization, because inexperience is not going to get you there, really, in my opinion. So bringing in Darche would be a really good way to do it. Chiarelli also has experience as a GM himself, winning the Cup in 2011 with the Bruins. But let's just be real. There's no sugarcoating what he did in Edmonton. It was horrendous what he did in Edmonton. Bruins, aside from the Seguin trade, he was pretty good, I would say. And then DJ Smith I would say he no longer has a safety net. Pierre Dorian was the one saying, "Oh, he's our coach. He's doing a good job." He's really under the microscope now, and we're officially in November. Today is November 1st as I'm recording this video, and yeah, he's under the microscope now. And then a couple coach candidates, I think Patrick Roy's still in there. Claude Julien has been in rumors, obviously, because he was a coach of the Stanley Cup winning Bruins team in 2011 under Peter Chiarelli. So obviously his name has been tied into some rumors, and even in the past too. So we'll see where things go from there. But comment down below what your thoughts are on the forfeit and the firing. This is Jack Thing out with Sens Alert, and this was the Sens Alert.